but it's still not published. Hopefully, this year it will be published in a report with all the other, it's international and regional. So, to cut it short, we talk about gender equality. I used to teach in, we have development here in Jordan, in our university. We have a development session and department working on sustainable development. Okay, and one of the topics I used to teach is gender issues and gender studies. And this is also taught in a way in the BA level, not as what is being given, as I'm sure you know, in, for example, University of Jordan. They give it as a master degree, where sometimes they invite you to participate in talks, in the discussion of the degree of the. So I'm so fortunate to have that experience, which made me able to work on having two books, but they are in Arabic. But I have other, if you go to the ResearchGate and Google Scholar, you can see my papers. Some of them are in English, concerning women issues, and especially when we talk about equalities and inequalities in this area. I have a book which is related, which is called المشاركة السياسية للمرأة, which is talking about political participation, and I related to the whole what we consider as UN goals, important goals, the 17 goals. And with this, we try to come up with this presentation, which is goal 5. And if you remember the 17, we have goal 5 and we have goal 10. Goal 10 talks about, considers all the inequalities in different forms. But goal 5 concentrates on the inequalities concerning the gender issue. Now, it says goal 5, it says achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls. So, how can we do this? So we are not talking about gender equality, which is not only fundamental human right. This is number 1. Also, we are talking here about the foundation of peaceful building and peaceful societies, and how to have prosperous and sustainable world. And by this, I related with the goal number 16, if you remember. Now, also the progress over the last decades that we can see, it's not only we can see that the world is not on track. It has been raised that in this issue the world is not on track, and you will be fascinated when I give the last slide that will talk about this in numbers. So we have a problem in gender equality by 2030. Now, again, I don't know, I'm sure you have seen this as a very important slide that concentrates on different areas where we have to think about, which is gender equality targets. Okay, targets. If you can see here, the first from number 1 to 6, they are in a way targets. From then A, B, and C, they are tools to implement. It's tools for implementation, such targets. And they are just examples here, by the way. So target, for example, and discrimination against women and girls. Okay, and target 2, and all violence against exploitation of women and girls. And target 3, eliminate forced marriages and genital mutilation. And 5, here we talk about the value, how to value unpaid care and promote shared domestic responsibilities. Now, as you can see, the first 4 here, they concentrate on domestic issues and issues that has to do with the family. And this is very important, especially if we are talking about the Arab world and Jordan as such. But if you continue from 5.5 here, this is here what is connected with our topic generally when we talk about ensuring full participation in leadership and in decision-making work and the progress for women to be achieved. Universal access to productive health and rights. Of course, they are not all mentioned here, or the targets. As I told you in the beginning, we have political also, but maybe you can include it in the leadership part, which is 5.5. And as I told you here, when we think about equal rights to economic resources and property ownership, financial services, also the empowerment of women through technology, and how to adopt and strengthen policies, so that here we work on legislations and gender equality through legislations. Again, here, a very important issue that we should consider is that what is gender and what is gender equality. Lots of talk about gender, and in the Arab world, not only in Jordan, we have lots of accusers concerning when you talk about gender, as if you are talking about something prohibited. So gender equality is the issue here, which is equality, and you know the difference, I'm sure, between equality and equity. And we say equality between men and women. It's here concentrating on the concept that all human beings, whether both women and men, they are all free to develop their personal abilities. And here we are talking about the abilities as a tool also to think and to make choices in the future and to make changes. So how to make choices without the limitations, without any problems, especially when we talk about the stereotypes. We are all, in a way, governed, unfortunately, by stereotypes in the way we think. We have to get rid of the rigid gender roles, and getting rid of that doesn't mean we do not respect such roles. It's in addition to that, such roles, we have other things to think about. So gender equality here talks about different behaviors, maybe thinking about them, having future aspirations, and considering the needs of women, especially in this world. How to concentrate on values and to favor equality in a way, even in our education, our system. It does not mean that women and men, they must become the same, of course, but that their rights, responsibilities, and the most important word here is opportunities. They should be given on an equal basis. That will depend whether they are, it's not only the way they were raised. And that is, of course, I tried to, when Dr. Ala asked me, I tried to go back to, although I have 2 books in this, but I wanted to make it very specific, and going back to the last updated sources, because I know that you researchers very important, very keen to having the last updates here. Now, goal 10, as I told you in the beginning, which is one of the 17 goals here, for changing this world to the roadmap that we know of 2030. It says reduce inequality within and among countries. So if we have a problem, for example, in Jordan or in any other country concerning gender issues, we want also not only to excel or to develop this in our country, we want to make kind of like benchmarking and see what's happening in other countries to develop. So we have too much of the world's wealth is held by a very small group. Often this may concentrate or lead to financial and social discrimination. And in order for nations to flourish, equality and prosperity must be available to everyone, regardless of gender. This is very important. So regardless of gender, prosperity is achieved. Now the entire world will prosper. Now this is what we call modeling the process. How to model the process. We have rules of the game.